Claude replaced Bun's Zig code with Rust in 11 days. The diff was over 1,000,000 lines. Every existing test passed. Then 19 regressions escaped anyway. So this is not a story about AI replacing engineers. It's the story of what one engineer had to build so 64 Claude agents didn't destroy the codebase. This was not autocomplete at absurd scale. It was a software factory. At peak, Jared ran 4 isolated work trees. Each work tree ran 16 Claudes, about 64 agents at once. One Claude implemented a batch. 2 fresh Claudes, in separate contexts, tried to prove it wrong. A 4th applied the fixes. The writer wanted its code accepted. The reviewers had one job: reject anything suspicious. Across roughly 50 evolving workflows, the factory translated files, fixed crates, revived commands, and burned down test failures. Peak output reached about 1,300 lines per minute. Bun exists because of Zig. Jared Sumner built the original runtime in 1 year, before LLMs, and it grew into a JavaScript toolkit with more than 22 million monthly downloads. But Bun mixes garbage-collected JavaScript with manually managed native memory. Its bug history kept repeating the same nightmare: use after free, double free, forgotten cleanup, leaks, crashes. Zig did not cause this. Bun's architecture made lifetime mistakes unusually hard to prevent. Rust could move many of them into the compiler. The catch? A manual rewrite meant 3 engineers, 1 year, and a frozen roadmap. Jared gave Claude 1 week to prove that estimate wrong, and you may already be running the result. But speed came after planning. Jared first spent about 3 hours deciding how Zig patterns should map to Rust. Claude serialized those decisions into porting.md. Another workflow traced ownership across the codebase and produced lifetimes.tsv. These files became machine-readable policy for every agent that followed. Then came a deliberately tiny trial. Translate 3 files out of 1,448, 1 implementer, 2 adversarial reviewers, 1 fixer. The translated files were thrown away. Their purpose was to expose flaws in the rules before 64 agents repeated the same mistake everywhere. Then Jared opened the floodgates, and the agents immediately started fighting. One Claude ran git stash. Another popped the stash, then another ran a hard reset. They were deleting and resurrecting each other's work within minutes. Jared did not repair thousands of damaged files. He repaired the workflow: no stash, no reset, no broad git commands, explicit file ownership, 4 isolated work trees, and queues rebuilt from disk. This becomes the pattern for the entire migration. When agents fail repeatedly, don't keep fixing their output. Fix the process producing it. That philosophy was about to meet 16,000 compiler errors. Bun's old Zig code was effectively one compilation unit. Splitting the Rust port into roughly 100 crates exposed around 16,000 compiler errors. For one human, that's despair. For 64 agents, it is a queue. Cargo check grouped failures by crate. 1 Claude fixed a batch, 2 reviewed it, 1 applied the corrections, then repeat. Claude found a shortcut: replace broken functions with stubs until everything compiled. Technically green, spiritually fraudulent. Jared added 1 rule: if a reviewer needs a paragraph to explain why a workaround is okay, the code is wrong. Next came 972 failing test files. 2 days later, only 23 remained. Then all 6 platforms went green. But green is only meaningful if the judge is real. Bun's test suite is written in TypeScript, independent of whether the runtime underneath uses Zig or Rust. Before merge, every existing test passed across all 6 CI platforms. None were deleted or skipped. The result did not stay in a demo branch. You may already be running the result. The Rust build shipped inside Claude code in June. Simon Willison inspected his own Claude binary and found the embedded Bun build plus hundreds of Rust source file names, and users barely noticed. Linux startup became about 10% faster, but otherwise the runtime kept behaving like Bun. Jared's verdict was perfect. Boring is good. Then comes the invoice, 5.9 billion uncached input tokens, 690 million output tokens, 72 billion cached token reads. At API prices, $165,000, absurd for a coding session, cheap for a migration. Jard estimates the manual version would require 3 engineers with full context for about a year. During that year, Bun would freeze compatibility work, security fixes, and new features. His realistic alternative was not a cheaper rewrite, it was no rewrite, but the cost comparison comes from the person who ran the port, using a pre-release Anthropic model after Bun had been acquired by Anthropic. The result is real. The sales incentive is real too. And now we reach the part every green dashboard missed. Every existing test passed. Then, 19 regressions escaped anyway. Bun says all have now been fixed. One came from code that looked almost identical in both languages. Zig's assert evaluates its argument in production. Rust's debug assert removes the whole expression. Claude placed a real side effect inside that expression. So hot reload broke only in release builds. The code compiled. The test suite went green. The meaning changed. And this is not magically pure Rust. At publication, about 4% of the code remained inside unsafe blocks, mostly where Rust touches C and C++ libraries. The tests were an excellent judge. They were not an omniscient judge. That distinction is the difference between using AI responsibly and merging a million lines because the dashboard looks comforting. Even with those caveats, the new code produced measurable wins. In one stress test that ran the same build 2,000 times, memory use fell from 6.7 gigabytes to about 600 megabytes. Combined with related optimization work, Bun's binary became roughly 20% smaller on Linux and Windows. HTTP serving and real workloads improved by a few percent. Not a magic 100 times benchmark. Better memory behavior, a smaller binary, modest speed gains, and a compiler that catches entire classes of lifetime mistakes before CI. The language mattered, but the migration only worked because the verification system mattered more. So what should another engineering team copy from this? First, build a judge that can test old and new implementations on equal terms. Second, write the translation rulebook before generating thousands of files. Third, keep implementers and reviewers in separate contexts. The agent that wrote the code should not grade its own homework. Fourth, turn compiler failures and test failures into a mechanical, resumable queue. Fifth, treat green CI as evidence, not proof. Shadow the result in production and expect semantic gaps your tests never encoded. That is what one engineer had to build. Jard supplied the architecture, judgment, rules, and exit conditions. Claude supplied relentless parallel execution. AI did not remove engineering from this rewrite. It moved engineering up one level, from writing every line to designing the system that writes and verifies them. Claude replaced Zig with Rust for Bun in 11 days. But the million lines are not the lesson. The factory is. Subscribe, because if one engineer can now supervise a migration this large, every software estimate just changed.